The Gifford Foundation is a private philanthropic organization that supports Onondaga, Madison, and Oswego County through a capacity building lens where we support individuals and organizations in the communities we serve.
Gifford has gone to great lengths to be a consultant to folks, be a consultant to the community.
If you look at the impact that the Gifford Foundation has had on the community over the years in so many different areas, you can see how unique it is, just sort of based in the work that it's done.
Rosamond Gifford was a very unique individual, marched to her own drummer, very much a recluse, animal lover.
She liked horses.
And she liked horses.
Animals.
Yeah. She moved from here and went to Oneida Shores.
Every year at tax time, when I write my check to the government, I want to do what Rosamond used to do, which is say to the Internal Revenue Service, but I don't.
She's buried in DeWitt.
I think it was amazing that her father, as an attorney for the city of Syracuse, was able to amass $1.25 million to leave to her, and then her to have that kind of money, period, and then to continue to grow it was amazing.
Rosamond did not have any family, any heirs.
She was a woman who had a vision back then that was like, I want to leave a legacy in this community.
Her lawyer and her banker said, well, why don't you start a foundation?
For many years. It was a board that was dominated by members of the families of those advisors, continuing into the period of time when I first came on the board. And I would have to assume that it was Wink Berman that made this foundation succeed very, very quickly.
Gifford gave out scholarships
That really provided first-generation students access to higher education.
and they helped build buildings.
They had become known in those early years pretty much as a bricks and mortar foundation, supporting capital investments. The Lemoyne College campus is on the site of the original Gifford farm, and I think there was always quite a bit of support there.
The Rosamond Gifford Zoo, the opening of the School of Social Work.
The Gifford Lecture Series.
It was a slow evolution to go from bricks and mortar to this really being engaged in the community.
We had some really, really difficult conversations around race and class at the board level.
I believe that leadership is really important in our community and that leaders need to reflect what the community looks like. So it's not empowering people to become leaders because they already are. It's just exposing them to other leadership opportunities so that they can continue to practice being a leader in their community, at work, at home, on a board, whatever that might look like for them.
It's providing them the tools, but the solutions are coming from within. The value we've seen over the last few years is really that peer-to-peer connections that are happening during those workshops or the cohort capacity building programs that we run.
In the 2000s and the 2010s, I think there was a very discernible shift into capacity building.
As the direction of the board's vision changed, so too did the requirements to grow our staff. Kathy was hired in the late 1990s.
We hired Kathy into those two roles, first program director and then executive director, and allowed her to really lead us in building the applications around those concepts that we knew were important, but we didn't know where to go with it.
We became embedded funders, really spending time in community and making sure that the dollars were being used in a way that made sense to the community and that the community had control over those dollars.
I think one of the key elements of the Gifford Foundation is the people, is the staff.
We started on the same day in April of 2007. I actually remember walking in and meeting Lindsay. She was at the front desk, and I didn't know that she was new, but I don't know if she knew that I was new. Never would I had imagined that we would grow and the leadership that we have grown into.
I think Rosamond would be very proud of all that has been accomplished.
I hope that she's very proud of what the Gifford Foundation has done over these years, because we've certainly used that money well, I think.
Rosamond said, do good with my money. And I believe that we have.
I want to say that she would be proud, and I also want to believe like she kind of somehow knew that this thing could be much bigger than anything she could imagine.